boarding school, and although they'd kept in touch even after Claire had moved to the States, it had been a long time since they'd last spoken. When Sunday's email had hit her inbox last week, she'd been surprised, then shocked, and a little bit curious. Sunday was an outstanding doctor and never asked for help. Until now. The thought had crossed her mind that this could be a setup, a trap. After everything that had happened in the last month, her best friend killed, mercenaries chasing her across the globe, intent on stealing her life's work, it was entirely possible. She hated that she couldn't even view a contact from an old friend without suspicion. She'd wrestled with herself over answering the email and, in the end, decided paranoia couldn't dictate the rest of her life. What good would she accomplish if she was always running and hiding? So here she was, sweating in the sticky tropical heat, soaked to the skin by the ceaseless rain of monsoon season, scratching her head over something that didn't make any sense. The serologic tests are coming back as hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome? And also hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. No, that wasn't right. Too many variables weren't adding up. Hanta wasn't an African virus, and human-to-human transmission was so rare as to be non-existent. Not to mention the fact that the two forms of the virus had never shown up simultaneously in one host. They were from opposite hemispheres. HFRS was found mainly in Europe and Asia, HPS in the Americas. Claire shook her head. It shouldn't be here burning through the population like this. It's unlike any strain we've seen before, Sunday said. It's really all very strange. I thought if anyone could figure out what is happening here, it would be you. Claire looked at the quarantine tents. How many people have died? All of them. She froze and stared at Sunday in disbelieving shock. What did you say? Sunday's lips flattened into a grim line. All of them have died, Claire. It has a 100% fatality rate. What? Horror tightened Claire's throat as she again looked at the tents. 150 people convalesced inside the makeshift hospital, hoping the foreign doctors could help them. Men, women, children, seniors, babies, even 2 pregnant women. There had been a toddler in one of the last beds before the decontamination zone. She'd stared at Claire and Sunday in the protective spacesuits with dull, fearful eyes. All of them, she repeated in a whisper and pictured the girl slowly bleeding out while her kidneys failed. It was a horrific, painful way to go. No, step back. Pull yourself together. She closed her eyes, took a second to regroup. Getting emotionally involved wouldn't help that toddler. What would help was figuring out why this was happening, finding a suitable treatment, and keeping anyone else from becoming infected. She tried to reconcile the facts she knew about hantavirus with what Sunday was saying. Depending on the strain, hantavirus has at most a 30% mortality rate. Could it have mutated? Maybe 2 strains combined into a daughter virus? I suppose it's possible. Claire turned away from the tent and faced her friend. But if this was a natural mutation, we'd have seen the mutated strain in Asia or Europe or South America. Even the U.S., somewhere the virus is already prevalent. Not Nigeria, a country where there has never been a known case. It doesn't make sense. Could someone have traveled here with it? Claire considered the nearest village with its thatched roof homes. There was no electricity or running water. The locals were all uneducated fishermen, eking out a simple life along the banks of the Niger River. Again, it's possible. It'd be more possible if this were a city, but... She waved a hand, encompassing the